It's funny because the term lights on and no one's home has taken a new meaning for me. Lights on and no one's home. Some of my neural, or I don't know, many of my neural pathways are turned off, but there's people in there. There's a lot of people in my brain. My dad's there. My mom's there. There's my mama. I love my mama. There's the CIA. There's my dad. I love my dad. There's my mom again. Yay! There's a Smooth Criminal. And then that light bulb up there, if you come at an angle, it shows both the clocks in the sky. And then right there is Clinton and Perot. My parents in the army set them up from a long, long time ago. That's... Oh, and the power means ponage. Officially pwned. Oh, that's hard. Wait a second. Look at that. That's too heavy. Clinton. Look. That's Clinton and Perot. Okay? Stay back. I can't see anything. Go, go, go. The special op forces are saying to who? That's Clinton and Perot. That means Clinton used an AI. Maybe Biden used an AI when he said it. Maybe he found out later that the AI is rigged by the military to catch the government. Maybe I don't think it's kind of sad for him. He might be shocked. Over here it says smoking is permitted in this area. And warning, electrical shock hazard. Okay, there's Orgine. That looks like telephone, L, whatever. Sorry, excuse me. Smoking is permitted in this area. Now, what does that mean? So the people, smoking is permitted in this area. What does that mean? First of all, I got cookies on my cell phone about tiny little miniature biological animals in a lab. That lab is huge because 30 years ago when I was a kid, I remember being a kid and I remember thinking about all the science and all the hardcore, amazing stuff that happens behind closed doors in the United States military. Here I am. I grew up. I realized my dad paraphrased my feelings 40 years ago. My dad and mom and all my aunts and uncles paraphrased my feelings today 40 years ago. So who are they? And then I was born into some lab, and then here we are. We're talking about a lab, but my parents paraphrased my feelings, and then somebody sent me a cookie about a miniature, tiny little cat that big. So how big is the lab? What's going on in the lab? Joe Biden can't hear it. Joe Biden can't hear this. Joe Biden is on a completely closed circuit. Clinton and Perot. He would be shocked if he saw that. So who can see this? Who can hear this? People who have had access to the lab? People out there? Maybe the people who have had access to the lab, maybe they're on a closed circuit. Maybe this is for the world to see and for the world to identify with and understand who they're with, understand who they are. MIA said, I already saw the Mad Rush that my dad wrote. She goes, I already know that, so she probably already knows this too. There's father and son right there. And then there's the woman from Steven Spielberg's movie saying, look at the snakes I sent you. It looks pretty snaky to me. The only problem is we have special op forces in Taliban. I mean, with respect to warfighters, I know what they're doing. It's just scary, you know what I mean? It's just scary in the light of all this stuff. I know you guys know what you're doing, and I'm completely in the dark in regards to the eventual output of how this is gonna look. I can only do my part. So I'm not sure if Joe Biden can read or not, if Joe Biden's watching. I'm opting to choose that he can't hear any of this whatsoever, because Clinton and Perot is right there on the wall. And that wall and that tree, look at the high five. That's Avatar. That seems to be a part of my family. So how is he a part of my family when, I don't know, it just kind of, it's weird. He seems very oppositional. In any case, he's probably, you know, one of the individuals that was ordained to kind of pretend like, I don't know, lie to people. A lot of very wealthy Americans were on board today. Are they like the non-scientists? And then does the scientist in the lab, which is like all of my families, say something and then Joe Biden just says it like on TV because that's the way you guys communicate with the world is on TV and like public. I don't know. It's really strange. It's funny. There was a candy in my mouth too. It's from the movie. Check your candy. Look, this thing switched and it switched back. Check your candy. What does that mean? Oh, and that's an upside down R, which represents extremely rare life. Life is extremely rare. Whoa, I was caught in the middle of the railroad tracks. The letter A in the middle of the letter A. So that's Joe Biden. So he plays the role of number one. But then number one is rigged by my family. And then he's in the middle, which is my family, which is the cops, which is right there in the hologram RoboCop. That's the number one because over there we have another hologram RoboCop. There's number two there. That's the real number two. Turkey and Russia. What Turkey and Russia said. There's high school. There's Hoover High School. And there's the number one, the letter one. I mean, the number one under there, which is Yak in Persian. There's that. And then here in the middle, we have a parking lot that I crawled out of. And then over here, we have R and R, what I said. Upside down, which means extremely rare because of our life is extremely rare because of the different axes that the clocks are on in the sky. X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis, which is like an understanding of our life, but like an elementary and like a bestowed understanding of our life. So does that kind of like define like a type of intelligent species? Are we a type of intelligent species as opposed to just a intelligent species? Does that correspond with evolutionary speeches? Does that correspond with transitional wordings? Are we alone? No. We're not alone. No, we're not alone. There isn't any evidence whatsoever to prove that we were alone or we were not from a spacecraft. We're not alone. There's other life out there, and there is a spacecraft on the planet or in orbit or both. Period. Both. Someone said both. There's there's more than one Trimaxion drone ship here. That is pretty cool. One for the underground, one for the above ground.